Are we headed towards an economic recession in 2023? What signs, if any, signal that we are? Will this be similar to the 2008 crash? If so, what do we do? These are the questions being asked and answered in this video. You don't want to miss out. Now let's get into it. The big question, are we headed towards an economic recession in 2023? Is a big yes. Economic experts, corporate owners, and CEOs across industry spectrums are signaling a concern to the U.S. economy. The last year of increased rates by the Federal Reserve, global supply chain issues from the pandemic and Ukraine war, along with corporate price gouging are the three main reasons why experts are concerned with the strength of the U.S. economy. And too many are signaling that we will be in a deep recession in 2023. And these are not the only indicators signaling that we are headed toward a recession. Questions 2 and 3 posed at the beginning can be answered together. The signs that we see now are eerily similar and in some ways practically identical to the 2008 crash. From March to July of 2008, JP Morgan Chase agreed to purchase Bear Stearns at a deep discount, and Bank of America acquired Countrywide, which was one of California's largest lenders. There was a large amount of bank consolidation happening at that time, from Merrill Lynch being taken over by Bank of America, and Washington Mutual went under and was eventually acquired by JP Morgan Chase. We are seeing a lot of these similar trends, but they are just at their starting point. The fallout that we see today with the SVB bank collapse, seizures of the bank, and bank runs are all reminiscent to when Pasadena's Indy Mac Bank was seized by the federal government, and subsequent bank runs also took place at that time. The SVB bailout that we are seeing today is too similar to the bank trends from 2008. And it doesn't stop with SVB Bank. First Republic Bank is also seeing stocks tailspin as they serve some of the same clientele and have similar balance sheet characteristics. 2008 to 2009 also saw record levels of layoffs, something we haven't seen, at least not yet and not on the one-day scale that happened in 2009, was the massive layoff of over 40,000 people in one day across sector businesses from GM, Sprint, Halliburton, Home Depot, Pfizer, Texas Instruments, and Caterpillar. I have talked a lot about the massive layoffs taking place across sectors, which I will link in the end and in the description box. While we may not be seeing this amount of massive layoffs in one day, we are steadily getting closer and closer to this being a reality. So yes, the signs are all there that we are not only getting closer to a recession, but that we are more likely than not already in it. This is something that economic experts outside of the narrative spin of the Biden administration have been speaking to. One expert even said we could see the collapse of the economy in about 60 days. So yeah, there is a lot to be concerned about and even more to be watching out for. The biggest question of them all, what do we do? I wish I had a firm answer on what to do. I am not an economic expert, but I do remember the 2008 crash. Like so many others, I was a fresh college graduate that fell for the go back to school and get a loan and get credit cards and pay for tuition shtick. I was listening to the news, my parents and older friends and family getting their advice, and they were all pretty much saying the same thing. And they weren't malicious in the information they provided. They were just misguided and listening to pundits. What I will say is this. If I was in my 20s again and had the knowledge I have now, this is what I would do. Pay off any and all debt that you currently have. That means credit cards, car loans, etc. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, as so many people are, my biggest recommendation is to start investing in your food supply. Prices are only going up, and the supply chain issues are silently yet steadily creating an impending food crisis that will likely hit the US and the rest of the world over the next year. So stock up on your essentials and dry goods. If you don't have a lot of space, I hear ya. It's about preparing the best that you can with what you have. And I think the best piece of advice I can give is to follow your passion. I know that's a lot easier said than done, but if you were like me, a struggling millennial, hating a lot of the low paid work you could maybe find, I would say just go for your passion. Start a YouTube channel, start an Etsy shop. If you're proficient in something, teach it to others. You can start small and work your way up. If there is one thing I wish I could change about my actions in 2008, it was listening to what people thought was the right thing but ultimately wasn't my thing. So take a chance if you can to branch out. Work with friends or colleagues and see what you can do as a collective. It's about innovating and going with the flow as much as possible. Find your bliss. We only live once, and recessions, as stressful and scary as they are, can be used as a time to reinvent yourself and take a chance. That's what I wish someone told me. Again, I'm not an expert, so take what you want and leave the rest. At the end of the day, I do hope I am wrong. What do you think? Do you think a recession is coming? What are your plans if it does? Let's discuss it in the comments. I think this is a great time to start helping each other and finding ways to support what each of us are doing. That would create a strong economy, in my opinion, that could ease us through this tumultuous future as the elite powers do their thing. They have their incentives. Ours should be helping each other in whatever way we can. Well, thank you for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and also hit the bell. And as always, stay safe, take care, and be kind to each other.